My concluding remark is that we need to again combine ourselves with the source of everything. We need to find out the real solution to all the problems at once. That solution is combining with the divine, with God. God is a person. We are persons. We are made in the image of God. So by combining with that supreme authority through a human authority, we will get tremendous power. And again, we shouldn't become populist. We shouldn't just popularize the whole thing. We shouldn't go for the mass. We should just give our this is the cure. Those who want it will take it. If we outwater the whole philosophy, if we make compromises in the philosophy, then we will be losers. So we cannot cheat people. If we want to be an authority, if we want to change the world, and that should be the main goal for all people, especially all spiritual people, but everyone who's living in this world. There's so much terrible things going on in the world. You all know them. I'll not bore you by explaining them here. So many things going on in the world. Each person in this room has the power to change that. Each person. But if we work together, much more powerful will it be? So let's not forget where we're all coming from. And let's not forget the real solution to all the problems in the world is simply by combining with that source of everything.
Okay. Well, my concluding remarks are a little bit different than my brother, I am sure. And I don't want to get into discussion about God and gurus, What I would like to say is that we who are sitting on this podium and people who are sitting, I look at them as a beautiful bouquet of flowers, Some smell differently, some smell good, some smell not bad, not that good. Some are very colorful, very beautiful, some are very simple. But the whole idea is not individual flower, but this bouquet which we have created, So that is very important. The second thing is, my remark is that for God's sake, don't worry about being popular or not populist, or don't worry about what your problems are. You should look at the totalness of this bouquet. That is this bouquet going to last longer, or is just after 2 days it's going to, turn into a heap, So my suggestion will be practical, be pragmatic, and be very, very professional, and leave God alone. He will take care of you.
Good. I will only support what Bashy is saying, but I will repeat myself from earlier that what is important is that we are using our own powers here as a united group to use the power for whatever is necessary, because there are some violations occurring on the basic rights for human beings, and we need to work from that level and get more clever on this and use any professional resources that we can use, using again our own lines here and our own networking.
Yes. Martinus used the expression that we are all members of the religion of life. We are talking about human spiritual rights. But in a way, every single living being is a member of the religion of life. Irrespective if you are a plant, an animal, a human being, we are all in the same religion. And there is a master, and the master is the living universe or God. We are here, we are being educated, we are being taught by life. And what you are doing to others, in a way you are doing to yourself according to the law of karma, the law of cause and effect. So in a way, if you are hurting another person, you are hurting yourself and you're sort of hurting God, because God is the sum of all living beings. You are all individual living things. And that is what is needed in modern spirituality, to teach people when you are beating others. It's so stupid and so illogical, not scientific, because when you are beating others, you are beating yourself and you are beating God. So it's a good idea to start to change the view on life. And if you want to change the world, it's good to understand what changes people. And first, of course, it's the only experiences. especially experiences from sufferings, develop our compassion. Maybe that's 80% of the evolution. But then I would say spiritual science, maybe 15%. It is good to have a compass. You have to go through the landscape. You have to make the evolution yourself. But it's very good to have an inspiration, to have a guidance. And a very little, a third part is the good example. Maybe it's only 1 or 2%, but it's very inspiring for people. If people you like are doing something good, or you like people because they're doing something good, they are a good example. They are sort of the leading star. So that is also what you can do in your private life to change the world. That is to be a good example for the others.
I will enjoy going home tonight and tomorrow and reading some of the great quotes and interesting stories that I heard here tonight. I'm very much, I feel that I'd like to get to know others here more, and the idea of sharing knowledge and wisdom and insight is something that I'm coming away with more interested in than before. Thank you for that. And I'm also impressed by the kind of spunky fighting spirit that I see here too. So I'm really interested in cooperating in future, and maybe even in a few days. So.
Yes. Thinking of masters, then one of my great masters is Saint Francis of Assisi, whom you all know as the lover of nature and birds and wolves and everybody, living beings, all living beings on the earth. And I think he, as you know, he said, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. And I think maybe that's the deepest thing we can do, all of us, is to be this instrument of peace. And that, I think, has to be the basis when we talk about fighting for our rights and our human rights and our right to exist as communities. I think this is the basic line underneath it. Because if we are not instruments of peace, but instruments of war, then we do not fight the war we are going to fight, if you see what I'm saying. We need to fight the war of peace, if you can put it paradoxically like that. So I think that would be my last word here is, Lord, make all of us your instruments of peace.
So, well, first of all, I want to say that I will take you in my heart home, and it has been a great, pleasant surprise. This is how I envision the golden age of humanity, maybe not so small. This is how I envision it in this small fractal way. So from such spirit to grow and to extend all the way to the margins of the universe. And also practically I take with me the promise that we will stand up for our principles, and we will watch, let's say, each other's back in a way, in a spiritual way, so that we can, instead of punishing, we will create possibilities and awareness.
I would like to say on behalf of Soteria that we are very grateful for all of you to have come here and for giving from your heart to make this event alive, and that it is extremely fulfilling to participate in such a discussion. And I feel that it from this event, we are now full of enthusiasm and energy to fly upwards like a rocket. And this comes very close to a vision that we had several years ago when we started with the project, which was to create a gathering of hearts, where the decisions don't come from voting or any such element, but it comes from simply an understanding that appears between hearts. The hearts can communicate because they are all in the same place. The spiritual goal. Exactly.